Hey YouTube, Kevin Cleary with a knife video. This is going to be my most carried knives for the month of June. Now I know we're halfway through July, so it's a little longer. For those of you who are, kind of just newly subscribed or who just stumbled upon this video and are like, what are you talking about most carried for June? A while back I tried to do a most carried video or a top 10 knives video, and as I tried to do that, I realized as I kind of reflected on that, I realized that that's not how I carry. Okay, my carry is too eclectic, but generally I've noticed I fall into patterns. Okay, so I'll kind of fall into an EDC rotation that includes around 10 knives or so, maybe more. What have I got here today? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 11 here today. Between 8 and 12 knives I tend to carry fairly regularly for a month or 6 weeks, and then that group sort of gets put back on the shelf and a new group kind of comes out, and so because I realized that I carry that way, I thought, why not make videos reflecting that? So what I started doing a while back was making a video every month or 6 weeks saying, this is what I've been carrying the most the last few weeks. All right? And so that's what this is. This is what I've been carrying the last few weeks, and maybe in August sometime you'll get another video talking about what I've been carrying mostly for, for that period of time. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the knives. I will say this, some of these I'm carrying for review, some of them you've already seen reviews on. I don't think there's anything here that I recently, maybe there's 1 or 2 that I've recently reviewed. Usually I leave those out, but whatever's here I'm going to show you. So even if I did do a recent review, but it's still one that I carry all the time, it'll be reflected here. Alright, so what have I been carrying? Well, the knife in my pocket today is the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. Still love this knife, super comfortable in hand. I love the blade shape, I love the overall styling. It's very comfortable, very tough, very useful. So one of the knives I've been carrying a lot is the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. Let's break this down by locking mechanism. Okay, so I've got a couple other back locks here, or maybe just one more back lock. The other Cold Steel is the Cold Steel Code 4. These Code 4s are just phenomenal. Okay, they're one of those knives that they just can do everything well. If you're the kind of person who's looking to buy one knife and one knife only, this is a great option. Super tough, super easy to carry, great blade steel now with that CTS XHP, strongest lock that you can find in any folding knife on the market. Plus, the versatility on this is really, really good. This is, because of the aluminum scales, this can be a gentleman's knife, this can be a hard use knife, it's just an all-around great knife to have all the time for practically any situation. Now, the Tanto blade, which is what I've got here, kind of changes that, okay? For a regular EDC knife, I do prefer, a spear point or a drop point or something like that. Not that this is bad, it's certainly very, you can still make it work. I just prefer, as an everyday carry knife, I would probably, if I was only buying one, remember, I would probably go more toward a draw point style like this, where you've got that belly, which is useful for lots of things. Okay, so those are a couple of Cold Steels that I've been carrying. What else have we got for, oh yeah, Silent Soldier. This knife is somewhat recently reviewed. I don't know, maybe not that recently, but this is a great knife, and it's nice and small and compact, and I carry this a lot as a secondary knife. So maybe I'm carrying something larger that day, like the Code 4, and I'll stick this sort of in an off pocket or in, in my cargo pants or whatever, and have it to pull out in a situation where I feel like a smaller blade is preferable. Maybe it's, it's a public setting, maybe I'm doing a different job and I don't feel like a big knife is what I want at that moment. So I'll carry something smaller. So yeah, Silent Soldier, great blade, liner lock. So let's see if I got any other liner locks. Oh yeah, here you go. Kershaw Blur, great knife. Like, I love the Kershaw Blur, and I only have 2, and that's because of a great deal of restraint. I feel like every time I see a different Blur, I want to buy it. I have to sort of fight not to, but this is a great knife. It's fairly small and compact, it's lightweight, The blade steel, if you get the standard blade steel, is 14C28N, and it is great. Okay, I've been really impressed with 14C28N. You can get this in other steels. I have it in S30V as well. But again, there's a great knife. Liner lock. Do we have any other liner locks? I guess kind of these two are. CRKT Hootenanny. Now I hate the name of this knife, I really do, but performance-wise, it's a really good knife. Okay, it's not overly expensive. It definitely is easy to carry. Blade shape and grind and everything like that are really good. The ergonomics are phenomenal. I just feel like this is a real win from CRKT. You know, I honestly think this is their best offering for this year. Fantastic little knife, CRKT Hootenanny. Well, we're kind of on the liner lock kick. Let's look at the Kershaw Blur, not the Blur, Kershaw Knockout. Another great knife. You know, these Kershaws that land in that $50 and up category are usually really well done, and certainly this is no exception. Super fast flipper, aluminum handle, great blade shape, just overall design is really good. There's been some complaints about the slickness on this knife. I've got a video coming up that where I'm going to do some tire stabbing, you know, to see if, you know, we see on movies where they flatten a tire with a knife. I want to test that out, and I'm specifically going to try to use knives that have a smooth handle like this to see if it's fair to criticize for lack of jimping. Is it really super hard to hold on to this in a hard use scenario, or should we not be that worried about it? Okay, so that's coming up. What have I got? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna save all the frame locks for the end, so we'll do one more. Excuse me, one more non-frame lock. This is the Benchmade 943. This is not the black finish, so what would I call this? I guess this would be a grinder satin. So grinder satin finish on this, really nice blade. This is another one that I've been carrying like the Silent Soldier, where it's sort of smaller, and I'll carry it as a secondary blade. Super small, super lightweight. Really nice to carry this, you know, along with something else. Maybe I've got maybe I've got the Ultimate Hunter or the Code 4 on me that day, and you can carry this as sort of a secondary blade in your off pocket or whatever. All right, so we've gone through back locks, back locks, liner locks, I guess one axis lock. The Hootenanny is sort of in a class all its own. Technically, I would say it's a frame lock, but it's a little different. Now, let's go into strictly the frame locks. One of the knives I've been really liking and really enjoying is the Boker Federal. This is a really nice little blade. I guess it's not that little. It's pretty good standard EDC size. This blade is really cool. Super thick blade stock. I think this is the thickest blade stock I have in a folding knife. Very functional. Tons of fun to carry. You know, even non-knife people will look at this and go, whoa, that is a cool knife. What is that? Where did you get it? You know, and they'll ask you questions. It's really cool. I will say this, as you've probably seen in other videos about this knife, the pocket clip is kind of a fail, but it's so cool that I can forgive it for being annoying, okay? It's annoying, all right? I will admit, it is kind of annoying, but you know, I don't mind. Now here's a perfect example. This is a knife where I'll often carry this with it because this can be a pain in the neck to get out of your pocket. So I always think if I really need a knife and I can't get this out, at least I quickly grab a hold of this. But that's the only downside to this knife. Otherwise, it's exceptionally well done. Okay, very nice blade, Boker Federal. I will have a review coming up sometime in the not too distant future on that. Sticking with frame locks. Around the house, I've been carrying these SCH 300 series knives a lot. This is the 304. I really like the blade shape on this one. These are all really well built, really hard use knives that come in at such an extremely good price point that, you know, for what you're paying versus what you're getting, these are a real win. Okay, there are some drawbacks, but those drawbacks are more than made up for by the super low price point. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, here is my Farion Forge Ferex. Since I got this, man, it has never gone more than a day without being in my pocket for at least part of the day. It's such a phenomenal blade. Flips really well. I mean, everything about this knife is just awesome. I really enjoy using it. I really enjoy carrying it. And, you know, this is just a phenomenal, phenomenal knife. So that's the Farium Forge Ferex. It's been in my pocket a lot. Maxpedition Excelsa. This is a knife I'll carry on those days where I feel like I want something nice, but maybe I'm doing something that's a little more hard use. Maybe, you know, I'm going out to the bush that day, or, you know, whatever. I'll throw this in my pocket, and, you know, it's just a great performing knife. It's really cool. You know, if you're one of those people who you go, hey, I'd really like a titanium frame lock, but man, they're expensive, and I just I can't justify that cost. Well, the Maxpedition Excelsa, I think you can pick one of these up for like $110, $115, which is really, really good. And for that money, you are getting an excellent, excellent knife. Now, I've seen these go all the way up to $140 or so, but you should be able to get it for considerably less than that. You know, this knife does a lot of things right. It's really well put together. It's durable. The blade shape is excellent. The handle is comfortable, and of course, it is a titanium frame lock. So you're getting a whole lot of really cool, you know, good materials, good construction, good toughness, all that, for a very, very reasonable price point. And I'm not sure, I didn't mean to save this one for last, but this has been the knife that I've taken, you know, to church or to the office, stuff like that. Benchmade 761. This is a really cool blade, okay? I got this one, I've had it for quite some time, but the things that stand out to me about this is, you know, it's well put together, it's very easy to carry, the blade shape is exceptionally well done, you know, it's just very functional, very easy to use, slices really well, and unlike other Benchmades, the edge geometry on this is a total win. Now, there are some things, and I'm not going to get into much more detail on this, but if you go and watch my review of this, there are a couple things that I'm sort of like, I'm not sure about this or that, but overall, great knife. So what have I been carrying the most recently? Well, here they all are. Cold Steel, Ultimate Hunter, Code 4. I may not get these in exactly the right order. CRKT Hootenanny, just a really, really great budget blade. Benchmade 943. It's no wonder the 940, 943 are so popular. They are everything that people claim about them. They live up to the hype totally. Kershaw Blur, I mean, you guys know about how much I like the Blur. I've talked about it lots of times. I've done lots of comparison videos with it. So it does get in my pocket quite a lot, and I enjoy it every time it does. Along those lines, we've got the Knockout as well. Kershaw Knockout, another great blade. Pretty much all of these come highly recommended. There's none of these that I would really say, hey, don't buy it, it's not worth it, or anything like that. I'm just kind of looking to make sure. Boker Federal, again, review is coming up on that. Silent Soldier, I love Jason Brous, guys. You know, one of the reasons I buy Brous blades is because of their design and the character that they all have. I'm a real fan of Brous blades. Maxpedition Excelsa. Last three here coming up, the Schrade SCH 304. All of these 300 series are pretty cool. Benchmade 761 and Farium Forge Ferex. So there you go, guys. That's what's been in my pocket the most over the last few weeks. Now, there are a couple knives that are not here, and that's because I actually ended up selling a few blades a couple weeks ago to try and finance one major purchase that I really wanted to make, and I was able to do that. A video will be coming up about that in the future. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know what knife I'm talking about. But anyway, that's what I've been carrying. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've got any questions about any of those blades, feel free to drop a comment below. Talk to you later.